Warning: the Sticky Spots explores adult themes and content. The opinions and views expressed within are meant for mature audiences and may be graphic and adult in nature. They do not necessarily reflect the ideals or beliefs of the hosts or producers and are presented for educational and awareness purposes only. This is not health advice. Listener discretion is strongly advised. If you're not comfortable with frank discussions about sexuality, kink, or alternative lifestyles, this might be a good time to bow out. For those staying, prepare for an unfiltered journey into the realm of sexual wellness and education. Let's enter the sticky spot.
Right.
Greetings, Ramblers, and welcome to the Sticky Spot podcast. We're glad you can join us today because this is our first inaugural episode. What's this podcast about?
Sex stuff.
Yeah.
See, like,
Sex stuff? What kind of sex stuff?
This podcast is about exploring different kinks and sexual interests and preferences.
So you see, the reason why I wanted to start this podcast was because it's going to get me outside of my own box, right? We're going to be looking at things that might not necessarily be something we even understand, but like with that exploration, maybe we'll discover something about ourselves that we didn't know.
Or try something one time and realize that it's not our thing, which is okay too.
I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, it's always kind of education. Because, you know, safety is always important when it comes to sex. Safety is paramount when it comes to that. And not just sex, but relationships. Because, you know, if you're doing this for the reason, especially within the BDSM realm, like it's not just a physical thing. There's a lot of aspects and that's kind of what I like about thinking. Because, like, I know what I really like. And I kind of know why I like it. But at the same time, like, it's interesting to think of like all the ways that I don't see it applied to me. But like, if it's not my thing, like, it's interesting to see why people might like it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I would say the privilege of I've had the privilege of learning more about myself in that area, in like myself personally and us as a team, as partners, and that like that growth is possible by like the safety that I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's always important, feeling comfortable, but you know, at a certain point, you know what you like and you know what you don't like, so you kind of just stop once you figure out, once you kind of get comfortable. So it's a good opportunity for us to see other people who are kind of in the same realm, but like with different things, like what they get out of it and what their proclivities and their preferences would be. So either way, it's really fun to think about all the little things that we can do. We got a pretty good little structure going. First thing we're going to do is we have essentially a kink generator of sorts, where we got a pretty healthy list of different kinks and fetishes and just different aspects of BDSM in general. And we basically put it in a random number generator. And each podcast, the goal is to have a number picked out, which is a specific subject, and then we'll kind of dive into our own curiosities about just try to understand it, basically, like, whether or not it's something that we could see us enjoying. It's interesting to see like what fulfillment, other people get out of it, and like things like that. And then we'll also dive into some confessionals. I like to think of a section that has either type of confessionals, anonymous, stories, anything that kind of makes us think and talk a little bit, little things like that. So that should be fun. And then I was thinking of a product review of sorts, and I have one in mind that we can take a look at. Because of our lifestyle, we tend to
Yeah, we tend to have some experience with some of these toys and products that I think give us a good. We have a good
good amount
arsenal.
of experience.
Yeah, we have a pretty good arsenal.
Well, no matter what, it's a learning curve with these toys. We've definitely discovered which ones are good and which ones aren't, which ones, to look out for, what brands, things like that. And that's kind of what I want to steer the product, because it was kind of hard to figure it out going along. And, I think we have a healthy handle on it at this point where we can understand some of, the traps or, the little unexpected things like, oh yeah, it works perfect like this, but if you decide to try to use it like this, there's been plenty of little incidences that we've run into. So, we can help shed some light on it, give some honest opinions. We'll definitely put it to use and figure stuff out for you. But that was definitely on the agenda. And then, so we'll see how it goes.